I was just watching Clint's stream with him. With him? I was watching Clint's stream, and we're like, I want to hear an alternate timeline where the Vikings had pew pews. But I'm also editing a product review video right now. So we'll just wait a bit for people to get all up in here. Golly, it is so windy out right now. You can hear the wind just howling. And it rained. It rained all last night. It rained a lot this morning too, but looks like the rain is let up. But it's gonna rain again tomorrow. Tomorrow, tomorrow is Wednesday. You're first. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is supposed to rain. So I'm not really looking forward to that. Yeah, I saw your message, Clint, in the Discord. Yeah, and no rush, dude. I appreciate just being a friend, you know. During their time, had guns instead of swords. So let's see what it comes up with. I already love the title of this timeline. They call themselves the Gunpowder Vikings. No, we want. Hold on. Wait a second. I want them to have like modern day pew pews, not old fashioned. All right, we can do that one too. That's a good one. So I wanted to have them like modern day firepower, not like Flint and those kind of guns. Give them some 2025 firepower. You know what I'm saying? The Gunpowder Vikings, Norse dominion of the world. Prologue: a future gift to the past. In a strange twist of fate, a powerful temporal rift opens over the icy fjords of Norway in the late 8th century, raining down crates filled with modern day firearms, ammunition, and military gear from 2025. The local Vikings, known for their adaptability and thirst for conquest, waste no time in understanding these advanced weapons. With the help of their finest blacksmiths and their relentless warrior spirit, the Norsemen reverse engineer what they can and hoard what they cannot reproduce. By the time the first raids on England begin in 793 AD, the Viking Age doesn't just start, it erupts into a firestorm of high caliber gunfire. The gun Viking Age from 793 to 1100 AD. With access to assault rifles, machine guns, sniper rifles, and grenades, the Vikings become an unstoppable force. I can't stop laughing. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Their longships, originally designed for speed and coastal raiding, are now mobile gun platforms, each warrior equipped with an arsenal no medieval army can comprehend, let alone withstand. Phase 1: the annihilation of medieval Europe, 793. Hey, the Kings! Thanks for tuning in. 793 to 850 AD. The infamous raid on Lindisfarne in 793 AD plays out very differently. Instead of a brutal but conventional raid, the Norse unleash fully automatic rifle fired on the unarmed monks. Word spread fast. The Northmen wield the power of the gods. Anglo-Saxon kingdoms attempt to fight back, but find their chainmail and wooden shields are utterly useless against 5.56 rounds. Castles fall like sandcastles under the hail of gunfire, and Viking chieftains establish permanent settlements unchallenged. The Frankish Empire under Charlemagne is completely outmatched. His mighty cavalry charges are gunned. His mighty cavalry charges are gunned down before they can close the distance, and siege warfare becomes obsolete when Vikings simply blast through stone walls with explosive weaponry. The once feared Viking longships dominate the seas, using sniper rifles and mounted machine guns to obliterate enemy navies before they can even get within range. Phase 2, Viking expansion in the first. Hey, the Kings! Shout out to the Kings! Viking expansion in the First Global War, 850 to 1000 AD. With Europe subdued, the Vikings turned their sights on the rest of the world. They seized the Mediterranean, laying waste to the Byzantine Empire's navy with 50 caliber machine guns mounted on longships. Gun-armed Norse warriors reached the Middle East, encountering the powerful Abbasid Caliphate, but even the finest Sacred cavalry stands no chance against the squads of Vikings wielding modern rifles backed by grenade launchers and makeshift mortars. Hey, the Wolf. We're creating an alternate timeline where the Vikings did have modern day weapons. Caliphate. Okay, thanks. Thanks for helping me out there. Vikings with Mark 19 auto grenade launcher. Yeah, it's fun to create alternate timelines. I just pop it into ChatGPT and see what it comes up with. No worries, Clint. We'll just be here. The Vikings, now armed with captured horses and modern firearms, push deep into Central Asia. Mongol ancestors, centuries before Genghis Khan, are wiped out in one-sided battles. In the east, the Vikings established colonies in Russia, gunpowder paving the way for an empire that stretches from Scandinavia to Serbia. Phase 3, the Norse New World, 1000 to 1100 AD. Unlike in real history, where Leif Erikson's expeditions to North America were brief and unimpactful, the gun-toting Vikings carve out a full-fledged Norse empire in the New World. Native American tribes, though skilled warriors, cannot compete with modern firepower, leading to an early Viking dominance in the Americas. With resources from North America, Viking engineers begin experimenting with primitive industrialization centuries ahead of schedule. Crude factories are built, and mass production of firearms begins in hidden strongholds. We'll have to look that one up next. What is SML Ronald McDonald? The Viking global order, 1100 AD to beyond. By the 12th century, the world is unrecognizable. The Norse gods are worshipped across the planet, their mythos merging with local traditions under Viking rule. With modern weapons still functioning and being reverse engineered, no resistant movement has ever succeeded. The Renaissance never happens, as the Vikings have already leapfrogged past medieval society into an age of technological supremacy. By 1500 AD, Viking scientists, building off recovered technological blueprints, developed early prototypes of steam engines, basic electric systems, and even gunpowder-powered aircraft. The world, centuries ahead of schedule, braces for the next chapter, the Viking Space Age. By the year 2000, humanity no longer remembers the empires of Rome, the Renaissance, or the Age of Exploration. There is only the Age of Vikings, and the Allfather's warriors still rule the stars. Should we do the Viking Space Age, or should we skip to the Ronald McDonald one? Boy. What do you guys think? I'm also editing a video right now for I work with this company called Soul Thing, And they sent me a pair of their heated boots. So I'm just doing a little while it renders out. I'm just chatting it up with you guys. Hopefully you don't mind. Do I draw? No, I don't draw. I don't honestly know. I don't want to say I don't know how to, because I can see it in my head, but I can't get it to paper. It's super annoying. I just do photography and videography. Let's see. Let's. What kind of stuff do you like to draw, the wolf? Oh, it's getting a little toasty up in here. So while we're, uh, oi, characters. Oh, nice, nice. Did you ever sell your or do commission work on Etsy? Not Etsy, sorry, Fiverr. I mean, I get a lot of my logos um, done on Fiverr. Old timers, what's up, dude? Long time no see. Oi. Okay. So with their overwhelming, this is the Viking space age. With their overwhelming firepower from the 21st century and an empire spanning multiple continents, the Viking civilization advances at a breakneck pace. By the year 1500 AD, they have moved beyond simple industrial gunpowder. Aired. Uh oh. Can you guys still see me? Um, I just got. I have a. It says my internet connection just went down. The time's still going on. I don't see a buffering thing. Okay, we could do that one. I mean, it's just you and I, right? Hey, Best VR. Yeah, I remember you. Okay, this is gonna be a good one. Oh, these crack me up so much. Let me know when you guys are ready. Yeah, we got Best VR up in here. So, in an alternate reality where history bends and twists, a mysterious cosmic rift opens over the icy fjords of Norway in the 10th century. Emerging from this portal is none other than Ronald McDonald, the external trickster of the fast food gods. With the laugh that echoes through the ages and an army of fry-crazed minions, he has come to challenge the mightiest warriors of the Viking world. The Vikings, led by battle-hardened Jarl Bahorn, Bloodbeard, Ulfilson, are no strangers to the arrival of strange beings, having once fought frost giants, sea monsters, and even time-traveling invaders, but they have never faced anything quite like this. I'm glad you cruised by. Round one: the Golden Arches of War. Ronald McDonald, standing atop a floating, glowing golden arch, surveys the battlefield. His crimson hair flows like the blood of 1,000 battles, and his yellow suit glows unnaturally under Nordic sun. Flanking him are his warriors, the Fry Fiends, a legion of twisted, fry-covered zombies, and the Grimace, a towering purple behemoth who roars with a voice that shakes the mountains. Jarl Bloodbeard, armed with I guess in this timeline they still have guns, the Vikings. Armed with an M4 carbine, gifted by the gods of the future, raises his rifle and bellows, "We have felled kings and conquered worlds, but we have never fought a red-nosed demon. Fight, my warriors, for Valhalla." The Vikings charge forward, axes, rifle, and modern guns in hand. Ronald McDonald grins. Would you like fries with that? I'm dying here. Round 2. McMayhem. The battlefield erupts in chaos. The Vikings, skilled in both melee and modern warfare, unleash an onslaught of gunfire and blade strikes. Bullets tear through the fry fiends, sending ketchup-like fluid splattering everywhere. The Vikings cut through the horde, but Ronald McDonald is untouched. With an eerie cackle, he summons the McFlurry Storm, a swirling vortex of ice cream and sugar that freezes anything it touches. Several Vikings are encased in solid dessert, their weapons clattering to the ground. Fahorn Bloodbeard, undeterred, grabs a Viking rocket launcher, an experimental creation of the runesmiths, and fires at the floating golden arches. The explosion sends shockwaves through the battlefield, but Ronald merely dusts off his red striped sleeve and summons his next warrior, the Hamburglar, a shadowy assassin who moves faster than the eye can see, snatching weapons from unsuspecting Vikings. So this is all just generated. I just put in the prompt, and this is all that it came up with this. Let's see what it says. So this is round 3, the final feast. Realizing brute force won't be enough, Bloodbeard turns to Viking strategy. He challenges Ronald McDonald to Holmgang, the ancient Viking duel. No magic, no minions, just warrior versus warrior. Ronald McDonald, honor bound by the unspoken laws of combat, steps forward. With a massive spike spatula, he faces Bloodbeard, who grips a gold-plated Viking longsword forged in the fires of Messelheim. The duel is brutal. Ronald's weapon swings like a Reaper's scythe, deflecting bullets while Bloodbeard counters with precision strikes. The earth shakes with each clash. Finally, with a mighty roar, Bloodbeard delivers the decapitating blow, severing Ronald's head from his shoulders. The sky darkens, the McFlurry storm dissipates, the Fry Fiends collapse into greasy puddles. The Vikings stand victorious. Epilogue. The Vikings return to their longships, carrying trophies from the battlefield, Ronald's oversized clown shoes, and the sacred golden arches now shattered. They drink mead in celebration, singing songs of the battle against the mad clown god. But far in the distance, the sky flickers once more, and a new challenger emerges. A shadow looms over the hordes. The king of burgers has come. The war is far from over. Keep it going with... Yeah, what kind of twist do you want to add? Should the twist be towards with the king of burgers? What do you think? Hit me with your twist and we'll... Okay, should we do that? Should we add it with um, against the king of burgers? Keep it going with the king of burgers, and one of the Vikings is Colonel Is he secretly poisoning the Vikings or poisoning the king burgers? The Vikings. Oh, he's poisoning the Vikings? Oh, whoa. All right, let's see what it says. Wow, this is getting dark. It's loading up right now. Let's see what it says.
It's really easy to know.
The Viking fast food wars, the rise of of Burger King, and Colonel Sanders' betrayal. Hey, Manny Stock 55, what's up, dude? How was your trip this weekend? It's last weekend, right? We're just creating an alternate timeline where the Vikings have modern day weapons. Now they're going against the fast food. They just defeated Ronald McDonald. Excuse me. And now they're going against Burger King, but Colonel Sanders is a Viking, and he's fighting with the Vikings. That's good. I'm glad. I've never actually been up there. Um, I've driven through, but I've never actually stopped in Cupertino before. So prologue: the smoke of a new enemy. After their hard fought victory against Ronald McDonald and his army of fried fiends, the Viking warriors returned to their longships, ready to sail back to their conquered lands. They drank, feast, and sing tales of their victory, raising their horns in tribute to Behorn Bloodbeard, the slayer of the red-nosed demon. But as the ember of their fires smolder under the night sky, a shadow looms over the Fahords. A massive golden crown glows in the darkness, and a flame-grilled scent fills the air. The sea trembles, the sky rumbles, the enemy has come. The king of burgers stands on the shore, his long velvet robe billowing in the wind. His expression is frozen in an eerie, unblinking smile, his towering crown shining like the sun. Around him stand his elite warriors, the flame-grilled guardians, wielding enchanted broadswords seared with the flame, and the onion ring wraiths, shadowy assassins who leave the stench of fried oil wherever they tread. His voice speaks. He speaks in a voice both regal and ominous. You may have slain the crown, but now you shall kneel before the king. Chapter 1: The Colonel's Arrival. Among the Viking ranks stands a particular warrior, Colonel Harlan Sanders, a southern born warlord who was washed ashore years ago and was adopted into the Viking way. His crisp white beard, sharp spectacles, and legendary combat skills, he rose through the ranks, earning the respects of Bloodbeard himself. But while the Vikings see him as one of their own, the colonel has a secret. Before arriving in the north, he was sworn a knight of the Sacred Order of Fried Poultry, an ancient sect that despised both the clown and the king. While he fights alongside the Vikings, his true allegiance lies with the chicken. As the Vikings prepare for battle, the colonel stirs a secret blend of herbs and spices into the evening's feast. Unbeknownst to his comrades, the delicious meal is not just seasoned, it is poisoned. Chapter 2: The Battle for the Fahords. The Vikings awaken to horrific stomach pains. Their warriors, once unstoppable, now stagger to their feet, groaning in agony. Even Bloodbeard himself feels the curse taking hold. The king of burgers strikes. The flame-grilled guardians charge forward, their fiery swords cutting down weakened Vikings like cattle before a butcher. The onion ring wraiths move like smoke, slashing throats before disappearing into the night. The Viking ranks crumble. Bloodbeard, struggling to stay on his feet, realizes the betrayal is too late. He turns to Colonel Sanders, who stands untouched by the sickness. You did this, Bloodbeard snarls, his vision blurring. The colonel adjusts his glasses and smirks. Now, son. Little fiery treachery never hurt nobody. Then, with unnatural speed, the colonel draws twin drumstick-shaped daggers and drives them into Bloodbeard's chest. The Viking leader collapses. Chapter 3: The King's Coronation. As the Vikings lay dying, the King of Burgers steps over their fallen bodies. Laughing in triumph, he walks up to Bloodbeard's corpse and places a golden crown upon his lifeless head, a mockery of his former rule. The battle is over, the Vikings have lost, and the age of the king begins. But as the king turns to his new loyal enforcer, Colonel Sanders, the colonel simply adjusts his tie and smiles. Oh, your majesty, I ain't done yet. The betrayal is not over. The colonel has his own plans, and soon the world will not and soon the world will kneel not to the clown nor the king, but to the chicken. All right, Wolf, what else? What you got next? That was pretty funny. That was a good one. What a timeline, you know? Whoa, okay. Keep it going. But Ronald Mc never killed. It was a clone who was killed. Okay, okay. I feel this. So while it's loading, this is called The Chicken Rises, the Clown Returns. This would be a great cartoon, like an adult cartoon. I would tune into this for sure. Clint's been telling me about the show on Tubi. I've been watching it too. It's called Forget About It. And it's about this like mafia member who gets entered into the witness protection program, and him and his family have to move up to Canada. It's pretty funny. So it's just loading here. Where are y'all watching from while this is loading up? I know where you're watching from, Mini Stock. Are you watching from in town or at work? Don't you work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Oh, that's just mine. I put my phone right next to the speaker. And like I'm saying, I'm editing a product review video right now. So you're just hearing my own voice. No, that's my voice. Thanks. I sound like an AI. Oh, Tuesday, Wednesday off. Nice. I still need to get out there because I saw that you get like a buy one get one free ticket if you have a uh, uh, like a staff ID from a like an educator. You know, like so my college ID will get me a discount ticket, I believe. And I know my girlfriend wants to go, and I want to go too. I want to play mini golf and race go karts. Okay, it's loaded up now. Prologue. The red shadow looms. As the king of burgers claims victory over the poisoned and dying Vikings, and Colonel Sanders kneels before him in supposed loyalty, a strange gust of wind rushes through the hordes. The flames of the Viking funeral pyres flicker violently. The scent of grease and charred meat fills the air, but something else lingers. Something sinister. Yeah, I have two dogs actually. You maybe just heard his little collar jingle as he hopped up on the bed. From the shadows of the cliff, a laughter echoes. Hoo hoo. That's an interesting thing for Ronald McDonald to say. You really thought you got rid of me, didn't you? The king's frozen, expressionless face turns towards the darkness. Colonel Sanders adjusts his glasses. The surviving Vikings, those who had barely crawled away from the battle, lift their weakened heads in horror. From behind the jagged rocks, a figure steps forth, bathed in an unholy red glow. His yellow suit pristine, his red wig is voluminous. His oversized clown shoes stomp on the blood-soaked ground with power. Ronald McDonald is alive, or rather, he never died. That poor fool you killed? Ronald grins, cracking his knuckles. Just a McClone. You'd think I'd let myself be deep fried by a bunch of Norse barbarians and a royal pretender? I am the franchise. The ground rumbles. Behind Ronald, hundreds of identical McClones march forward, all dressed in their red and yellow war attire. Each wields a dual-wielding McFlurry Gatling gun, their ice-cold barrels steaming in the night air. Behind them, towering over the battlefield, the Grimace Prime lumbers forward, a cybernetic version of the monstrous purple warlord with glowing red eyes and metal-plated arms. Ronald McDonald is no longer just a warrior. He is a god reborn. This is heavy. Chapter 1. The Colonel's Gambit. The King of Burgers, always silent, simply tilts his head. His Whopper knights ready their flame-forged weapons, knowing they will need to fight for their kingdom once more. But Colonel Sanders, he just smirks. He knew this moment would come. All along, the poisoning of the Vikings was never meant to serve the king. It was meant to weaken all sides, to clear the battlefield so only one warrior could rise from the ashes. Boys, the colonel says, adjusting his bow tie, looks like it's about to get extra crispy. So I went on ChatGPT, and you can just enter pretty much whatever you want. And so I told it to create an alternate timeline. And first we started with just the Vikings having guns, and the AI came up all of this. And then yeah, the wolf was like, let's just expand on it, where they were fighting fast food fast food people. From his coat, he pulls out a massive double-barreled sawed-off shotgun, the stock decorated with the sacred herbs and spices of the old gods of poultry. With a single pump, the gun glows golden, radiating the divine energy of fried perfection. Then he turns on the king. Chapter 2. The War of Three Titans. The McClone army opens fire, raining down an unstoppable storm of McFlurry rounds, freezing the Viking corpses where they lay. The Grimace Prime stomps forward, its mechanized arms crushing anything in its way. The Whopper Knights, loyal to their silent king, ignite their flame swords and charge into battle, slashing through the endless tide of clown clones. The King of Burgers, standing tall amidst the chaos, unleashes a massive flame-grilled broadsword, its surface sizzling with holy grease. Colonel Sanders, now fully revealing his true power, unleashes his final form, his white suit morphing into golden armor, his beard glowing with divine poultry energy. Only one fast food empire will stand. He levels his holy shotgun of the 11 secret herbs and spices at the king's chest, and it ain't gonna be some burger flippin' puppet. The king turns slowly. Their battle is about to begin. Meanwhile, Ronald McDonald walks straight through the chaos, bullets bouncing off him like raindrops. He cracks his knuckles as he approaches. Colonel, did you really think I wouldn't see this coming? The colonel stops. Ronald smiles wider than ever before. The thing about fast food, my friend, is that it's always served hot, and then the sky ignites. Hey, Duke. Chapter 3, The Final Supper. To be continued? Question mark. As the fires of war consume the battlefield, the once mighty Viking Empire is but an afterthought. The fast food warlords have transcended time, history, and reality itself. Their armies now fighting not for conquest, but for the ultimate domination over the fast food multiverse. Only one will stand at the end. Who will it be? Will it be the king, the flame-grilled tyrant? Will it be Ronald McDonald, the undying clown god? Or will it be Colonel Sanders, the traitor of the North and master of the chicken? The battle of the century rages on, and the world will never be the same again. That a dog on... What does that mean? Boy. Gosh. What a war. Who else could they go after? What about, like, Roger from American Dad? The guy called Duke? I've never heard that before. Or never heard of that. Who's Rick Sanchez? Isn't that a... Who's a Rick? Okay, okay. Enter Rick. Let's not try to, let's just see what it comes up with, not by like pointing it in a certain direction or not, you know? So I just put in, now enter Rick Sanchez from the show Rick and Morty. Let's see while it's loading. Don't worry, it's just me editing in the background here.
Right in the middle of the last charger goes. It's like a
Dude, I haven't watched Rick and Morty in quite a while, so that was a good one.
boom, it starts charging immediately. It takes about 4 hours to full charge, but that's okay. They do last. They do last between 3 to 4 hours. 3 to 4 hours in high speed mode. So just keep that in mind.
Have you guys seen the live streams where it's like, I think it's in China, but they're just testing these like go-kart, like off-road go-karts, and they're all just riding them in a circle, and there's some voiceover, and I was like, is this really happening, or is it just a pre-recorded kind of thing? Enter. You hate go-karts? Why do you hate go-karts? That's a random thing to hate. The portal opens. The battlefield is a blazing hellscape of deep-fried carnage. Ronald McDonald and his McClone army rain down a blizzard of McFlurry gunfire, freezing Viking corpses where they stand. The King of Burgers, armed with his flame-grilled greatsword, cuts through waves of fry-covered abominations. Colonel Sanders, having betrayed the Vikings, wields his holy shotgun of the 11 secret herbs and spices, his golden suit glowing as he fights for his own supremacy. The fast food multiverse war is in full swing, but before the battle reaches its climax, the sky tears open. A portal appears. Oh, they go too fast and you crash. A portal appears, and from it stumbles a drunk, burping mad scientist in a lab coat. Burp? What the hell kind of deep-fried nightmare did I just walk into? It's Rick Sanchez, the smartest man in the multiverse who has seen infinite realities and survived wars between gods, now stands face to face with an immortal clown, a flame-grilled king, and a southern-fried warlord. Rick takes a sip from his flask. All right, Morty, listen up. I don't know what the F is going on here, but I see clowns with guns, a dude dressed like Elvis, and a chicken demon, so I'm just gonna assume we need to start shooting. Morty isn't there. Rick shrugs. He doesn't need him. He pulls out his portal gun, presses a few buttons, and summons an army of himself from alternate realities. Chapter 1: The Rick Army versus the Fast Food Warlords. The portal gun flashes violently, and hundreds of Rick pour out, all armed to the teeth with sci-fi weaponry. Cyborg Rick charges forward, firing a plasma rifle at the McClone army. Mecha Rick flies above the battlefield, unleashing laser beams from his robotic hands. Pickle Rick, still armed with his rat-powered exoskeleton, leaps onto the Grimace Prime, stabbing into its circuits. Buff Rick, jacked beyond belief, punches the Hamburglar so hard he gets launched into orbit. The battle is no longer one of fast food giants. This is now a multiversal catastrophe. Ronald McDonald looks around, his grin twitching. This wasn't on the menu. The King of Burgers, emotionless as always, merely tilts his head, flames reflecting off of his golden crown. Colonel Sanders, he just laughs. Son, I've deep fried some crazy shit in my life, but this takes the whole damn bucket. Chapter 2: Rick vs. Ronald McDonald. Rick locks his eyes with Ronald. Alright, Red Nose, let's see what makes you tick. He pulls out a scanner, analyzing Ronald's genetic makeup, his eyes widen. Wait a minute. Holy shit, you're not even an effing clown. Ronald laughs, his grin stretching unnaturally wide. His flesh begins to peel back, revealing a pulsating alien exoskeleton underneath. You're smart, old man, Ronald hisses, his voice disoriented, distorted. Gosh. But you're playing in my playground now. The McClone army mutates, their bodies morphing into horrific, tendril covered monstrosities, and their red and yellow uniforms tearing away to reveal withering alien flesh. Rick sighs. Gosh darn it, why is it always effing aliens? He pulls out a portal grenade, tosses it under Ronald's feet, and rips a hole in space time, sucking half the McClone army into a black hole. Ronald, now fully in Eldritch horror mode, lunges at Rick. Rick counters by activating his anti-clown field, a high-frequency sound wave that disrupts his molecular stability. Ronald screeches in agony, his monstrous form flickering like a corrupted file. You think this is the end, Rick? Ronald spits blood-colored goo onto the ground. I am everywhere. I am in every timeline. I am blam. Rick blows off his head with a plasma shotgun. Yeah, I've heard it before. I'm inevitable. I'm an eternal. I'm an effing clown demon. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up already. Chapter 3. The final showdown. Rick versus the Colonel versus the King. With Ronald McDonald reduced to a pile of cosmic sludge, only two warlords remain. The King of Burgers stands at the center of the battlefield, his flame-grilled greatsword glowing with divine heat. His onion ring wraiths stand behind him, ready for the final fight. Colonel Sanders, adjusting his glasses, loads his holy shotgun, his golden suit shimmering in the firelight. Rick sighs, taking another swig of his flask. All right, let me guess. You two want to keep fighting for fast food supremacy? Or some dumb like that? Jesus, you people need to take your branding way too seriously. The King of Burgers lifts his sword. The Colonel cocks his shotgun. Rick smirks. Cool. Let me see how you handle this. He presses a button on his wrist. A massive portal opens behind him, and through it marches an unstoppable force. An army of robotically enhanced Chick-fil-A paladins wielding holy waffle fry swords. A horde of sentient Taco Bell nacho golems dripping with molten cheese. And worst of all, Karen, the subway employee who has had enough of this shit. Rick throws his arms wide. Welcome to the effing fast food endgame. The final chapter, the end of everything. The fast food multiverse war has reached its final stage. The battlefield is shattered, time itself fracturing as the last great warriors fight for control of reality itself. Will the King of Burgers ascend to true godhood? Will Colonel Sanders' betrayal finally come full circle? Will Rick Sanchez be the one to end the fast food war once and for all? One thing is certain, when the dust settles, only one fast food chain will remain, and the universe will never be the same again. Golly, that's heavy. Have you ever been to Raising Cane's? That's like my favorite. Talking about chicken. Oh, something's on fire. Or someone's called 911. When it talked about Chick-fil-A, it made me think of Raising Cane's. I was like, ooh, now that's my favorite. That's my favorite chicken place.
How do you last between 3 to 4 hours? Just the nice reflective voices. 4 hours to fully charge it. So, boom, they start charging me 4 hours. So, probably heard the wire. So, check out the bottom treads. Absolutely incredible. Sweet laces. Check out the bottom. You can also have a nice release liner. Sweet laces. Check out the bottom. Nice liner. Check out the bottom. Treads. So we got this. So you put that on there. And boom. It's like it takes about 4 hours. It's number time. It's like the voices.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A's, Raising Cane's is an American restaurant. Yeah, thank goodness, no bottom filling today. I will be there tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, all day though. In the rain. It's like they wanted to wait. They're like, you know what? Let's just make it more fun. Let's wait for a rainy day. Yeah, thankfully no bottle filling. I was starting to get super over it last week. What, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Because we have more cadets now that we have bottles. So like, I mean, like every cadet has a bottle, but there aren't enough for them to all swap out at the same time. We have 33 cadets now, and we only have like 50 something bottles. So it really puts a heavy load on on it for me. And they all come out and swap out at lunchtime. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm not getting a lunch today. Oi. Where are you watching from, The Wolf? What country?
Our first degree was meetings at school. There's
Oh, the UK. Nice.
our that super degrees, which is 42.3 degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit, which is 15.5 degrees Celsius.
Ooh, it takes 3 bottles. Mm, about like 7-minutes or so. It depends how fast you fill them up. Um, you can fill them up a little bit faster, but we've been having some issues where um, the um, the compressor, like one of the high pressure lines going from the compressor to these little stingers that go to the bottle, they've been exploding, and I'm not entirely too sure why because I fill bottles slower than what you're supposed to. Um, you fill them. It's 10 seconds. I guess that makes it faster. So you can fill them up. It's 7 seconds for every 100 pounds of air, but I've been filling it in 10 seconds, so it's slower. But for some reason, and the fill rate the fill rate's important because, as you know, I'm assuming you know, right? Like as you compress air, it gets hot. So then when the air gets hotter, it actually expands. So the gauge will give you a false reading. So then when the bottles cool down, there will actually be less. Or I'm sorry, I'm saying this backwards. As you compress the air, and it gets hotter, so it expands more. So then once the air cools down, then it gets smaller. So then it'll give like a false reading. So that's important to fill, knowing how hot they get and stuff. Before on like the older compressor and the outside one, you could actually go back there and touch the bottles, so you could know like, oh, it's getting a little hot or not. But now this new one is just fully encapsulated. Yeah, the Wolf. I'm a SC Bay technician for a fire academy, so my job really just is about filling air bottles. Since they outsourced my job to Pennsylvania. You need a leather water bottle? Interesting. I didn't even know they made those.
Which is 14.3 degrees Celsius, white, which is 15.5 degrees Celsius, and blue, 32 degrees Celsius, and blue. This is we got 1.5 for 5 degrees Celsius, which is 2 degrees Celsius. Which is 40 degrees.
Yeah, they outsourced pretty much all of my job. As far as like all of the like the technician part of it, yeah, they outsourced all of that. We just rent from a company now. And so like before I was responsible for taking care of all that stuff. You know, like preparing all the packs and masks and everything.
Green was 24.4 degrees Celsius. White is 51.5 degrees Celsius. And blue is 63.2 degrees Celsius. So really, next year.
which is a bummer because I really enjoyed doing that kind of stuff.
So we really, bring heat. Another push, another push action in Irie. Another full charge in the another full charge in the red off on the side there. Okay. So that's cool. Makes it really easy to know. That's what makes it easy to know.
Cheaper for the college, yeah, but the company's kind of pissed because of how much wear and tear goes on their equipment, and they didn't even realize like that was gonna happen. It's like, well, duh, this is a fire academy where we use our stuff every single day. Of course, there's gonna be wear and tear on it. But it's interesting because um, they had the kids had a they. I'm trying to slow down here. There was a budget for it, and part of the money that came from their tuition and all that stuff went to an SCBA account, right? So it covered itself. But now the kids are just taking that money and paying someone else for their stuff, right? So the college is kind of missing out on that money, I think. I'm not entirely too sure the logistics here.
Makes it really easy to know fully charged. That's it. The zipper is easy. On the side of the zipper, it's really easy to know exactly.
They're just honestly they're just putting more cost onto the students, which is sad. It's like it's already expensive enough to be in the program.
Inside here, you'll see that there's the zipper. Which makes getting them off. On the side, that's an
You know, it's like so it's a 16-week program, and it's from they're there 7 to 6 every single day. So you can't work, right? And on the weekends you're just recovering and studying for what's coming up next. So it's like, golly, so you're spending all that money to be there. You can't work. Like, it's just mind blowing.
inside here. You'll see there's a zipper, which makes getting on and off a lot easier. Super handy.
Yeah, we have 33 students right now. They've been pushing it harder. So it's kind of a bummer. The academy, in my opinion, it works better when there's like 23 to 25 students. Um, there's less bottles to be filled. The instructors, I feel like, have like a little bit more hands-on with each student and stuff. Right now, there's 8 crews. Well, there's actually more of that. Let's see. 16. Yeah, there's 8 crews of 4 people. So that's crazy. Before, there's only like 5 crews. 5 crews of of that many people.
You'll see that there's a zipper, which makes getting them on super handy. Super handy. Just like with the other pilots, these foods are super high. I recommend them. This is more where you you're definitely going to want to get paired.
Ooh, that was a really good question. Hmm. I'd say less than half, at least a quarter to less than half. Um,
They're designed for comfort, not good.
I remember in my academy, and it kind of, so I went through in 2012, and during mine, there was a lot of PCFs that like paid call firefighters from like Cal Fire and other departments like up north, that wanted to become full-time firefighters but needed a firefighter one academy. But now Cal Fire is offering those same certificates, right? And they're offering like better pay and stuff like that in jobs. So a lot of people are going like the Cal Fire route and then just making a career totally out of Cal Fire. So, so what I'm saying is, you don't see as many PCFs anymore or people that are sponsored from departments. Um, so yeah, I think it's getting a little bit lower, but that actually follow through and become full-time firefighters. And I was like hearing those kind of numbers, and I was like, well, shoot, like my firefighter stuff search is still good. But I just need to become an EMT again, get recertified in that, and I'll go work on base, you know. But I'm kind of cool. Like my poor shoulders just crack. I can't do push-ups very well, without my shoulders just sounding like you're breaking just bubble wrap. And plus, like with all my I got hand tattoos and stuff, I don't want to shave my beard either. But honestly, the base would be a good place to work. You know, like at least from like my experience, you don't have to worry about getting hurt.
As I always use my like a flank. Getting paid to reviews. And this one in the video, I think he's like.
You know, the call volume is going to be pretty lower on base. You get a front row seat to all the rocket launches. I doubt. Do you think tonight's is going to go on? I keep checking the website. And I'm like, it still says it's a go for lunch. There's a 60% chance of favorable weather, but I don't know. It's been raining. It's super windy out there. Eight 10 p.m. Ooh, 5 hours and 8 minutes.
This one in the video, I think it's a studio try.
Hey Carol, good to see you today. Have you found Jesus? Have you found any love in your life yet?
You guys are awesome.
I just want to say thank you so much for helping the algorithm and helping the stream out. It's really, really nice of you.
They're awesome. I'm not being paid to review these. It's like, ever heated boots? Yeah, dude. Never. Never.
It's so funny watching your dog have dreams. It's like, I wonder what he's dreaming about. Cracks me up. His little paws are moving and stuff. Thanks, Carol.
super awesome. I recommend them. That's super awesome. So for that, I recommend checking out. As always, what was that? As always, use my code flying90. Check out to get $8 off your order. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one.
Nice. Just got the review video edited up. That wasn't too bad. I was able to keep it under 3 minutes this time. The last one we.
I recommend checking out. As always, use my code flying90 for checkout to get $8. As always, use my code.
We'll just put that at the beginning of this little clip here. I just really appreciate your commenting, Carol. You know, you're just helping out the stream, and that really means a lot to me. All your comments in the chat, you know, you're keeping the chat active.
I got $8 off your order. Thank you guys so much.
That's the funny thing about people that troll live streams, is they think they're being so funny and negative and all of that, but they're just helping out the stream. You know, their watch time contributes to the overall stream. It's just, it warms my heart having people like you, Carol. That there.
As always, use my code flying90 for check out $8 off your order. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one.
I think we're done here.
It's like 90. We're back with another something podcast. We're flying now.
And I wonder, like, how it really changes and all that stuff. Like, is it the wind? Is it the clouds? Like, is it in, like, how many feet do they, like, as far as the weather goes, like, how many feet do they look above, like, you know, from here to sea level, or is it from, like, here to there, or what exactly are they looking at? One 46. Who knows? I'm not a rocket scientist, and I think it's so funny after that last one blew up that they're like, "Hey, Elon, you need to stick to your day job and stay out of politics." And it's like, or what do they say? You need to leave the politics up to us. And these are just news reporters, you know, on TV, and it's like, wait a second, you're not in politics either. You're just a person sitting at a desk reporting the news.
Absolutely incredible. I did charge and so my extra charging immediately. You can see the when the lights on. You have this USB charger for it. Super awesome. You love it. That's what this charger for. Super awesome. In the inside we have a nice lease liner.
Hey, a view's a view, Carol.
Check out the bottom trends. That's incredible. Right in the middle of the boot is where the wireless company is. So they got a lease on there. And boom, it's immediately. It takes about 4 hours to fully charge it, but that's okay. They do last. They do last. Yeah, but then just that in mind. And it's reflective releases. There are 3 levels of heating, so that's super cool. There's